Basically, humans will not know what the future holds about him, his family, or even his country. And here are the events of the next 20 years about the destruction of the countries that exist in the world. Spanish. Sometimes this does not make sense because Spain is a safe and advanced country. But since 2008, the country is experiencing severe chaos in the data debt to GDP ratio of debt to domestic products to reach 94%. This is certainly very dangerous. Meanwhile, 24% of the productive Spanish citizens of today are many who are unemployed. In addition to economic and labor issues, the more worrying thing is the insistence of two regions in Spain asking for the independence of their territory. Two areas that are Catalonia and Basque. Many support for independence from these two regions, and many observers predict that Spain will break out in the next few years. North Korea. A country that isolates itself from this world, is foretold to collapse as well. The reason is their independent policy that does not want to depend from abroad. The natural resources and human resources of this country are very limited, so the next few years there will be a very big crisis. A very repressive political policy will also give rise to the seeds of rebellion from its people. If the North Koreans open themselves from isolation and make contacts abroad, the possibility of President Kim Jong-un's powers will not last long. Belgium. Belgian citizens are actually divided into various ethnicities. The Belgian state is divided into two major regions, Flanders and Wallonia. The Wallonia region to the south is an autonomous region whose population is French-speaking. Many inhabitants of Wallonia want to be independent or join the French state. In the northern part of the Belgian state, is a Flanders region filled with Flemish ethnicity who also want their own independence. This great cultural difference puts the Belgians on the brink of division. China. As a huge country with the world's greatest military power and a very strong economy, it is hard to believe that China is on this list. There are several problems facing this country, one of which is the devastation of nature is very severe. Air pollution is so high that much of the natural wealth is destroyed and harmful to humans. According to data from the Chinese government, the country will lose water by 2030. According to World Bank data, 250,000 people died due to pollution. Iraq. These state boundaries were determined by the British government at the beginning of the 20th century without regard to the diverse ethnic and cultural differences in Iraq. Since the fall of President Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi state has fallen further. There are three groups currently in power in Iraq, that is Kurds, Shiites, and Sunnis. In order for Iraq to unite, the northern Kurdish people must surrender the power of their government, the rebels must be destroyed, the three groups must be willing to reconcile and live together. This is very difficult, and the destruction of the Iraqi state is very close. Libya. Similar to the Iraqi state, the Libyan state is actually a product of colonial times. If Iraq is in British power, Libya is in the power of Italy. In 1951, Libya was led by Muammar Gaddafi. Under his leadership, Libya became the richest country in Africa. This authoritative leader was dropped in 2011. Before being controlled by Italy, this country has not been formed. Previously this country only combined three major areas, namely Tripolitania, Fezzan, and Cyrenaica. These three regions have strong regional fanaticism and may choose to stand on their own rather than joining in a particular country. The civil war in Libya is still going on so that it will eventually destroy the country itself. Islamic State. Islamic State, known as ISIS, began to steal the spotlight since 2014. Their sadistic appearance and actions took control of a third of Iraq and Syria. They formed the Islamic State, or the so-called Islamic State. To survive, this country must be able to defeat Iraq. In the near future, this country will be destroyed because it is attacked by many countries. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, or called the Great Britain, is a sovereign state consisting of 4 main countries, namely England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. The efforts of Scotland and Northern Ireland to stand on their own always fail. The latter is an independent effort from Scotland through a referendum in 2014. In addition to Scotland and Northern Ireland, Wales has also demanded autonomy and independence. If one of these countries managed to escape, then it is ascertained that other countries also participate independently. USA. The civil war that occurred several centuries ago was still carried up to now. This is due to race and ethnic issues. If this problem is not resolved soon, then this country is forecast to be destroyed within the next 20 years. Maldives. The country lies between India and Africa, is on the verge of collapse. This happens not because of political or social culture, but because of nature. The ever-increasing water level will make this country sink in the next few years. Therefore, the president of this country bought land in Southeast Asia to address this.